What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk SPK. Kick the beat. Angela Simmons is a very beautiful young lady with a lot of opportunity, and she came from one of the best hip-hop families that she could ever come from, the Simmons. Her uncle is Russell Simmons. Stop the show. Russell Diddy Lee Simmons. But, co-founder of Def Jam, super rich, super wealthy. Her father, Reverend Run Simmons, was in the legendary rap group Run DMC. And so because of that, she had a lot of advantages that people like me and you don't have. She's connected. She's from New York City. So a lot of things that would be able to progress her in her life, she was able to really get to. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. If your parents can work hard and get you into situations that are beneficial to you, you should do it. But stop the show. Sometimes people make bad decisions, and I really do mean bad decisions. Bad decisions in which, they kind of going outside of themselves when they should stay in their realm of understanding. And that happened with Angela Simmons and Romeo Miller. You see, Romeo Miller, Little Romeo, as we used to know him, is the son of Master P. Master P's a millionaire, Uncle Russell Simmons is a millionaire, and Romeo Miller really wanted Angela Simmons, but she didn't want him back. She just kind of wanted to put him into the friend zone. It made perfect sense for her to choose him because they're both coming from decent families, they're both rich, and, they're both in the same industry. But no, that didn't happen. Angela Simmons wanted to go to another route, which was Mr. Sutton Tennyson. Now, Mr. Sutton Tennyson was an older brother, older than her, who had some issues in his life. Now, I'm not trying to bring up anybody's past or anything like that, but of course, some brothers can change. But it seems to me that, he was pretty much to himself, and, he had some priors in his life. But again, at the time, seems like he was just, okay. He was being a father, and basically that was her fiance. People just didn't understand the connection, but that's what it was. But unfortunately, in November 2018, this happened.
Michael Williams accused of gunning down Sutton Tennyson back on November 3rd. If Tennyson's name sounds familiar, it is because he was engaged to Angela Simmons, the daughter of hip-hop pioneer Joseph Rev Run Simmons. Joe Hankey was in court today as we learn more about Williams' criminal past.
Well, Jeff, an Atlanta homicide detective today testified in the 90s. A judge in New Jersey sentenced the defendant, Michael Williams, to 15 years in prison for murder. Williams' current defense attorney told me his client was actually found guilty of manslaughter up in New Jersey, but no one is denying the defendant is a convicted felon, now facing a murder charge here in Fulton County.
So some guy owed him money and shot him right there in the driveway. So I don't know what it was about. I don't know if it was drug related. I'm not sure what lifestyle he was living at that point in his life. Black men can change. I'm not sure. We don't know. Much is not known about this brother. He's resting in peace, and that's all we know, okay? Seems to be a good brother to me. He wasn't doing anything at the time that we can prove. So here's a guy just, deleted based off of some other stuff. Got it. But what about Yo Gotti? Rewind! Yo Gotti is the full owner of CMG Music Group, and his brother was the legendary Big Jook. Now, Big Jook was not a rapper. He was a former Memphis drug dealer, from what I understand, or he was in the pen doing something, and he became co-owner of CMG and did a lot to grow that particular brand. But again, there was that beef with Young Dolph. And we all know that Young Dolph was killed in 2021, I believe, or 2022. And then Big Jook was the guy that came out and had this controversial thing to say.
I don't play no bitch beside two real niggas. Two real niggas with a pussy in the middle, man. Y'all don't do that, man. Don't fuck with our legacy. It's a pussy right here, y'all. Two guys. So, man. Hey, y'all. I'm finna start a GoFundMe, man, cause I know a lot of you rap niggas fucked up out here, man. Can't do no shows. Ain't save no money. So guess what? I'm gonna come say today. I'ma come pay you niggas rent if y'all got somewhere to stay. I'll pay your car note. I'll pay your jewelry note so you won't get repoed. You feel me? Whatever else you renting or leasing, I'ma pay that shit. But when this shit break back over, I want 10% of what you make, nigga. I'm saving you in a crucial time, so don't think I'm trying to get over on you. Cause you don't want to get put out. That'll ruin your career. So just hit my DM, man. We ain't gonna put niggas' business out there. We ain't that tight. You feel me? We can put it in contract. This will never be talked about. You feel me? I'll be so far out the way that won't nobody even know the deal we made. You feel me?
Now, at the same time, Angela Simmons is trying to rebound from Sutton Tennyson being deceased. She was going out with some guys like former middleweight boxing champion Daniel Jacobs, and it didn't work out. So after that, she got with Yo Gotti, Mr. Millionaire. Yo Gotti had been wanting Angela Simmons for a minute, and she finally decided to give him a chance. And even you started to notice a change in her accent.
Loss has been something that recently, I want to say in the last couple of years, I've struggled with. Like, I'll go up, I go down, I fluctuate.
But let's continue on with Angela Simmons, shall we? Angela Simmons revealed that once Sutton Tennyson was killed, her son, which looks just like the man, asked her something very interesting.
He calls me and she's like, I'm gonna give you a heads up. He's asking how his dad got murdered. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
What? So he gets on the phone and he's bawling. He's like, I don't know why he's not here, but why would somebody shoot him? And then next thing you know, the next day he's like, someone murdered him. And I'm like, what are you looking at, baby? I'm like, you can't look online because there's too much online that I don't know what you're even feeding. But I just hated that the internet told my son before I can tell him.
That is so annoying.
Man, I was so bothered because he got the story and the narrative from online before I could even like sit him down and have that conversation. Because you know what? At 2 and 3, he was asking me like, what happened to my dad? And I was to say like a bad guy did something bad to him. Like I didn't like, how do you tell a kid that's 3 that what happened? And he just kept asking, and he would ask his grandmother separately and other people like, so what happened? Like what? And he's only 3. So you gotta imagine 3-4-year-old asking these questions, but we're like, he's not ready to hear this.
Yeah, he's not able to process it. You know what I mean? That's the thing with the internet. The access is good, but then you have access to stuff that your mind mentally can't really metabolize.
Now the son wants to know, where's my dad? Why did my dad die? Why did my dad have this issue? I think that's Keke Palmer with her there on the podcast. And, she's trying to justify everything and, well, he's too young and all of that. But I would argue something different. First of all, I don't know Sutton Tennyson, so it's very difficult for me to speak on him. And, I just see some things about his past. But based off Angela Simmons' current boyfriend, which is Yo Gotti, for me, it's evident that Angela Simmons makes terrible decisions. And any woman who makes terrible decisions like this is a lady that is a detriment to the child. And so now she has her kid around Yo Gotti, who everybody in Memphis who's a young Dolph supporter might want a part of Yo Gotti because of Yo Gotti's connection to CMG. Now, to be honest, Yo Gotti is not the guy out there talking down on young Dolph. Yo Gotti is not out there disrespecting anybody from what I understand, which is probably why he's still alive. But we all know that CMG did pay the lawyer fees for the guys associated with the murder of young Dolph. And we already know that people snitched on Big Jug, and it makes sense because Big Jug was dead at the time. At least one person did, and testified that, hey, Big Jug is the one that ordered the hit on young Dolph. And now Yo Gotti is possibly gonna go to the feds, or at least they're gonna open up that case or indict him because of what happened with Big Jug. And whose fault would that be? Let's assume that Angela Simmons had a baby by Yo Gotti. Well, we can't say that she didn't know, or she wasn't involved in the Memphis rap scene, or she didn't know what kind of guy she was possibly dealing with. We would probably have to say that Angela Simmons was well aware and just didn't care. And that could have also been the case with her first kid's father. Again, her father, I remember on a reality show, asked about the guy's past and he was concerned and she was defending it. So the thing is, the worst mothers out there in the community are the ones that put their kids in precarious positions, in bad situations, because you figure that, you know what, you being a mom, it's, you have everything figured out, or God's gonna work it out. And then when something bad happens, then they want to be unaccountable, like, oh, I don't know why it happened. Wow, and then you have everybody defending her in the comments, for people that were upset about the whole situation. Like, let me read one of them here. So look at this person, Layers of the Heart. They were in defense of Angela Simmons. Y'all love to hate her. Shows how y'all miserable people be. Hating someone just because, how does she affect your life? Truly sad. Y'all hate on her, then get off the necks to fight for a late fee reversal. Wow. Now look at this. All About the Tea makes an important comment. And now she with the man that took someone's daddy away. The irony. She's talking about Yo Gotti, who basically, she's insinuating that Yo Gotti had something to do with the death of young Doll. Now, Big Poker goes, the comment I was looking for. And again, this just shows a continuance of bad decisions by her. And so many sisters in the Black community are like Angela Simmons, continuously putting themselves or their kids in harm's way. Then when something happened, then try to blame something else. But people are kind of tired of that behavior because the child doesn't deserve that. If you have a child and you want to be with somebody that's not, in the murder game or whatever, if you're single, okay. If you're a kid, you need to pick somebody better. And you should have picked somebody better in the beginning, And that's just kind of how it is. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all of you. Just heard the bell. We're out.